like money, motherfucker? Money be green. Money feel like money. That shit look green to you?
All right, another Money Be Green segment here at TheMandatory. If you like the content, hit that like and subscribe button. It helps the channel grow. If you've already been rocking with us, we do appreciate you. Remember, we're also on the audio side, so wherever you find your podcast. Also, if you have time, like a couple of minutes, give us a 5-star, leave a rate and review. But most importantly, this is an interactive show, so leave comments as well and follow us at TheMandatory TKO. We're everywhere: Twitter, TikTok, IG. That's a way that you can interact with us and keep involved with the show. Bryan, it's going down. We kind of been talking about this for weeks, making some jokes about it sometimes here and there. But Jaime Munguia is a minus 400 straight up on the money line, and John Ryder a plus 300. He's obviously the underdog. This is a fight that should, I feel like, be getting more publicity. I feel like it's kind of going under the radar. Some people care. Some people say it might be a candidate for fight of the year. Your thoughts on the bout, and how are you betting this?
I really, really, really think Jaime Munguia needs a strong performance here. John Ryder obviously was blown out on the scorecards against Canelo Alvarez, but actually had some moments in that fight, particularly late, where I thought he stole a couple of rounds. I still had it like 118, 109 for Canelo Alvarez, so let's not get it twisted. But John Ryder is a competitive dude. He has that win over Danny Jacobs. He 6, 7 losses, whatever it is in his career, has never been knocked out fairly, because the only TKO loss he has was like an early stoppage that was like bullshit. He should not have been stopped in that fight. It was very early on in his career. It was in the UK, bro. So I think Jaime Munguia being a minus 400 favorite is interesting. He was minus 375 yesterday, so this is clearly tilting in his direction a little bit more. I actually think there's real value here on John Ryder as an underdog.
Ooh.
I just couldn't get myself to do it. Like, I think post Canelo Alvarez, I feel like this feels like it's going to be John Ryder's like last big payday, at least over here. Unless he has another strong performance here and gets robbed, and then he, gets into a fight with maybe Edgar Berlanga or something like that, who I think Jaime Munguia should fight next. But
Yeah.
I think Jaime Munguia wins this fight by decision at plus 100. That's my favorite bet for the fight. It's not something I put a lot on. It's not something I have like a ton of confidence in, but I would say Jaime Munguia wins this fight by decision, because you saw the last fight against Sergey Derevianchenko was very close. He got the knockdown late. 2 judges actually had him losing the fight up until the 12th round, where he scored that knockdown, and it looked like he could have lost to somebody who has losses to Jermall Charlo and Danny Jacobs and Gennady Golovkin and Carlos Adames. And it's like, Jaime Munguia, what are you doing? That was, I think, Jaime Munguia's like, that's the best win on his resume. It's either that or Liam Smith. So I think Jaime Munguia, you better win this fight, and you better do it in a way that's unquestionable. But I think this is one of those fights where, kind of like Natasha Jonas, you have to go into it betting wise. You have to favor the A side, because if you think it's going to go to the cards, John Ryder is going to have a very difficult time winning this on
Yeah.
the cards. So
Well, I think one reason why John Ryder is going to have a difficult time winning it on the cards is because it's not in the UK, number one. Number two, it is Golden Boy Promotions card. So Jaime Munguia is going to be favored in this one. The crowd is going to be heavy Jaime Munguia. And on top of that, when it comes down to work rate, Munguia, the way that he boxes, he's going to have a way higher work rate than a guy like John Ryder. Now, John Ryder to me is more skilled, and sometimes I feel like he can fight like the bigger fighter, but he likes to bang on the inside. Jaime Munguia will bang with you on the inside, but he definitely has more power. I also think Jaime Munguia has more power than Canelo. Canelo will break you down
currently,
throughout the
yeah.
fight. Yeah, Canelo will break you down during the fight. But if we're talking about like one punch type of power, then I'm going to give that edge over to Jaime Munguia. This is a very important fight for Jaime Munguia, because he should be bigger than he is. Jaime Munguia should be a star. He should be a dude that's knocking out dudes left, right, and center, but he just hasn't done that. And I don't know if it's because of the pressure or the hype that's been on him, but for him, I think he needs a masterclass performance, or he needs a knockout for us to be talking about him. Because I think the winner will get Edgar Berlanga. They should. Jaime Munguia and Edgar Berlanga have been rumored to possibly have a fight. Jaime Munguia, I think for us to be talking about him more though, needs a knockout in this fight. John Ryder wasn't easily stopped by Canelo, but Canelo was also coming off surgery. And that was a fight where everyone's like, whoa, John Ryder really kept up with Canelo. He looked great. Did you see John Ryder's face at the end of that? He got hit a lot. He's not good defensively. And I think he is going to get caught by Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia, on the other hand, isn't good defensively either. Like, he gets hit a lot too. These two guys kind of fight similar in the sense that they both like to walk their fighters down. They both like to be the aggressor, but I think Jaime Munguia naturally is the bigger fighter in this one. And he's going to use his work rate against a guy like John Ryder. So I think John Ryder's going to lose a lot of these rounds. John Ryder has to be more of the aggressor, and I just don't think that's going to happen. He's going to try to, but I think Jaime Munguia is going to catch him. I think John Ryder's going to catch Jaime Munguia, and we're going to be like, oh my God, what's going on with Munguia? I think John Ryder's going to have some moments, but I know the safe bet, and you know, Brian, I don't make safe bets. I know the safe bet is to go Jaime Munguia to win by decision, but I think Jaime Munguia needs a great performance. Even though John Ryder went toe-to-toe with Canelo and hung in there, took a beating, his face is all messed up, I think this is the fight where Jaime Munguia makes a statement because he has to. Has to. Against a guy like John Ryder that went the distance with Canelo, that will look good for a guy like Jaime Munguia. I know this is not a popular bet. I went on FanDuel and I was like, where's the value? Okay, I want value, and this is not a safe bet, like I said, so you might not want to rock with me. I'm going to take Jaime Munguia to win by KO, TKO at plus 235 because I think I think John Ryder can get knocked out. You know why? He's been stopped before. It's not like he hasn't been stopped before, but he's fought really well lately. But
it was a bullshit stoppage, though.
Yeah, but still,
I don't even know if he got dropped. I remember he got rocked, and the referee stood in, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, it was a bullshit stoppage.
He still got stopped. He still got stopped though. And that's like Jaime Munguia is going to be coming forward. He's going to be using a lot of volume against John Ryder. And I want to see how John Ryder deals with that type of pressure from Jaime Munguia because it's going to be a lot more power than he faced against Canelo. I think he's going to catch John Ryder just like Canelo caught John Ryder and messed up his whole entire face. So I know a lot of people have been down on Jaime Munguia, but the guy is talented. He's going to have to make a statement. If you're looking for a safe bet, go for a decision. That's more than likely to happen because I think John Ryder can hang in there. But I think Jaime Munguia is going to get it done by knockout or a stoppage. I know that's a crazy, wild thing to say because of what we've seen in his last fight. But I'm going to roll with it because he needs it. And I think that just sets up a good fight between him and Edgar Berlanga. So maybe a little bit of wishful thinking. But I do at the same time think Jaime Munguia can catch John Ryder and knock him out. He has the power to do it. And John Ryder gets hit. And John Ryder gets hit enough. And if we're thinking of how Jaime Munguia was kind of set up to succeed, this is the fighter they wanted him to be, a guy that was knocking out other dudes. So I'm going to take Jaime Munguia at plus 235 here at the Mandatory. We want to know how you're going to be betting this one. So drop your comments below. Brian, any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
Yeah, if there's another bet I would take, it'd be Jaime Munguia to get the stoppage late, 7-12, plus 340. Who's the really like high level fighter that he's knocked out? You know what I mean? Like he's
never done it. So
he got a decision over Liam Smith. He got a decision over Sergey Derevianchenko. Sure, he TKO'd Saddam Ali. Congrats. You know,
Liam Smith's a tough fighter though, and so is John Ryder.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like he didn't knock out Liam Smith, so I'm not gonna favor.
But I think I'm gonna be honest here. I think John Ryder's overrated. I'll be the first to say it.
But I think he deserves credit for he's had a very good career.
He does deserve credit, like for sure. But I think he's a tad bit overrated after the Canelo fight. Like,
I actually think he can give Jaime Munguia some problems. The reason why I was impressed with him from the Canelo fight is because when I saw the size of the ring, I was like, Canelo's going to destroy him. And he actually stood in there for 12 rounds and banged with him. And while he got messed up because that's Canelo Alvarez, he survived and actually won a couple rounds. And Canelo Alvarez is better than Jaime Munguia and better defensively as well. So I actually think, like, listen, I think he could hurt Jaime Munguia in this fight, and he should not be able to because Jaime Munguia should be what David Benavidez has become underneath his nose. Like, David Benavidez is actually that dude that Jaime Munguia should be, and he's not that. In part because he's fought shitty competition throughout the course of his career. And oh, by the way, John Ryder's a southpaw. Jaime Munguia hasn't fought a single southpaw of note in his career. He fought a southpaw a couple fights ago, knocked him out in the third round. But like he was and I'm not even making this up, minus 15,000 favorite against the dude. Okay,
well, that's why you gotta knock out.
15,000.
Yeah, that's why you gotta knock out a dude if the other guy's minus 15,000. But what I'm saying is, for John Ryder, he can possibly, like, I think he's gonna have moments in this fight because Jaime Munguia can be defensively irresponsible, but at the same time, John Ryder's never been a guy that we've been like, oh my God, he has this crazy power. You know what I mean? I think after the Canelo fight, Canelo came off after like not fighting for a while and having surgery. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, okay, I know I took him to get the stoppage in that one, Canelo, but I can understand that he was coming off an injury, got surgery. So I was like, okay, whatever. He still dominated that entire fight. John Ryder does have a chance in this fight. If you want to place money on him, plus 300, like tons of value there. I'm not placing my money on him.
Plus 750 by knockout, John Ryder. I don't know.
You never know. It's boxing, Ace.
You could get a half unit from me on John Ryder to win by a KO, TKO. You could get a half unit on a draw at plus 1,800. I actually don't hate that at all because I feel like this is a fight where if we come away being like, man, John Ryder should have that 7 rounds to 5 or whatever, I could see them just being like, ho, this is going to be a draw or a majority decision.
Yeah, but I think Jaime Munguia's work rate though is going to be the difference in this one because I don't think John Ryder is going to be able to keep up with the work rate. I think he's the more skilled fighter and he's going to be having some moments, but I think Jaime Munguia is going to turn it up. And as you know, we saw this with Michaela Mayer just recently. Just because you have a higher work rate doesn't mean you should win. But we might look at it on the scorecards and be like, well, Jaime Munguia is walking him down. Jaime Munguia is throwing more punches. Doesn't mean it's the cleaner shots, but they're going to look at the scorecards and give it to Jaime. But at the same time, I think John Ryder, like, he's hittable. And he's facing a power that Munguia has power, and I think he has to respect it. So I'm going to go with KO TKO plus 235. Not the sexiest bet, but I think it's a bet that Jaime Munguia needs to have. I think it's a fight. It's a fight where he has to make a statement because if he doesn't make a statement in this fight, we're going to kind of probably say it's another dud.
I would agree with that. I think Jaime Munguia wins this fight, and then hopefully later this year, maybe in June before the Puerto Rican Day Parade, we can get him versus Edgar Berlanga, assuming Edgar Berlanga handles business next month in Orlando against Predrag McCrory, which you want to talk about dudes who need to win fights. Edgar, you better knock that dude out.
Yo, real quick. If it was Munguia and Berlanga, who are you taking? Real quick. I think I have to roll with Munguia.
You're not going to allow this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I want to see what they look like in their upcoming fights first.
I would never allow it. See, that's why I shouldn't have asked you this damn question. Here at Mandatory, though, we want to know how you're betting this fight. Drop your splits if you're rolling with John Ryder. No disrespect to the UK people that watch the show. We were getting some heat not too long ago, but nonetheless.
About what?
Yeah, someone was just like, I'll have to go back on the comments. They're like, you guys are disrespecting UK fighters. We don't disrespect UK fighters.
Who is the UK fighter?
I picked
Natasha Jonas to
That's
beat
what I
Michaela
said.
Mayer.
That's what I said. I commented. I was like, "What are you talking about?" Bryan took Natasha Jonas. I'm pretty sure it was that fight.
I did it here. I did it Action Network, and I won the bet.
But nonetheless, let us know how you're going to be betting this fight. Drop your slips below. Follow us at TheMandatory TKO, and thank you so much for rocking with us, Bryan. Any final words before we get up and out of here?
I would say this: Jaime Munguia would be the betting favorite as of now. If he were in a fight, Edgar Berlanga. But again, it also depends on how they look. But I'll tell you what, John Ryder's a better win than the McCrory dude.
Sure is. I know people that are watching the video are confused because Bryan's got those Puerto Rican flags in the back.
I'm here to be honest and tell you what I see.
I like that. We're raw here at TheMandatory. That's why you got to hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back with some more content next week. And also go check out the other content that we did with some fights that are coming up as well this year. Some really good ones. Thank you so much for rocking with us. And we'll be back with some more content soon.